My name is Peter Quill.
There's one other name you might know me by. Star-Lord. So here we are. Whether we like it or not, we're the only ones who can stop this.
Why would you want to save the galaxy?
Because I'm one of the idiots who lives in it!
Alright, so here we go again. This is Brendan, getting out from seeing Guardians of the Galaxy to do another conscious movie review. And I will say, I'll try not to give any spoilers, not too many at least, but I will encourage you to go see this movie because there are some very interesting, subtle themes that come up, but they are consistent throughout the movie, and a lot of these themes have to do with, once again, the hero's journey, which is this idea of going through struggles and going through obstacles and becoming stronger through the process of each obstacle that comes into our life is a life lesson, is a lesson in itself, and it's also an opportunity for us to grow and to be very unique and interesting individuals. So this movie is about the individuals and the characters of the team that make up the Guardians of the Galaxy, and one of those people include Chris Pratt, and like I said, like, he's a really interesting and conscious guy, and he's the stereotypical human. So he's something we can all relate to as the human. He doesn't have superpowers, and he's just using his technology, using his gadgets and everything like that, and making his way through the universe because he was abducted from his planet of Earth. And there's a whole interesting story at the beginning, and this is where the movie gets, you can start to decipher it esoterically in some interesting ways. And one of the ways is the relationship between Chris Pratt and the character of Quill, or Peter Quill, and aka Star-Lord, and his relationship with his mother. His mother she dies in the first scene of the movie. This isn't really a spoiler, but it's her dying and like him having remorse, and then literally him getting abducted in this crazy, like, unexpected scenario. But through that, it's this crazy idea of like this human who has these unique characteristics of love that they portray that other aliens in the galaxy sort of find like peculiar and funny. And what I mean by that is, like, there's a scene where Star-Lord like challenges a guy to a dance-off instead of like having to use violence and everything. And so there's these subtle ideas of, like, once again, these movies are a reflection for us to be able to ask the question, what does it mean to be human? What does it mean to be consciousness, whether it be human or other creatures? And with the other characters in the movie, that's where you get, like, you get Groot, aka Vin Diesel, voiced by Vin Diesel, and it's super awesome because obviously he was voiced for this character who's a giant tree that only says, "I am Groot," and like that's his vernacular and he expresses himself, but he's very of the heart too, the green, and once again, like, heart chakra. And he's voiced by Vin Diesel because Vin Diesel did the voice of the Iron Giant from the Iron Giant movie, and that's a very similar character in this idea that, like, the Iron Giant, that was all like heart chakra too. So anyways, like, the synchronicity between that movie and this movie leads over. And then also you got like Rocket the Raccoon, which is a very interesting character who's basically like a rodent who was tested on by humans, so he has like this grudge, and he's like, you know, like, oh, he's like, damn it, like, why did you do this to me? And then so there's like this empathy that we build with him as a character, that he sort of like tries to take out his anger on humans, and you can tell he's dealing with some like pent up situations and frustrations. But the whole idea of this movie is that, like, everyone has gone through things, and the other characters in the movie, the female assassin Zenora, I think it was her name, but she's like all like, yeah, like, she's dealing with a lot of stuff too, and so is the other guy. And basically, like, Groot's also awesome because Groot does tie in with this idea of, like, well, for me at least, whenever I see trees I always think fractals, and I always think of the interconnectedness. And I know with the character of Groot, if you actually look into the original backstory of Guardians of the Galaxy, which I don't know a heck of a lot about, there's this whole idea that, like, Groot is part of a whole network of other trees, of other Groots, and they all say, "I am Groot," that's their thing. And yeah, and he has like this cool thing with like bioluminescence, which he can do, which is also awesome. So their characters throughout the movie, they're up against like this guy called Ronan, and he's out to destroy people for the sake of destroying people, to prove himself and to like rid, you know, like the world of like insolence, like the universe, because he thinks that he's better than everyone, and he's just super ego. I guess he's like the ultimate ego bad guy. And then he's actually looking for the Infinity Stone, and that's something that's like really interesting, because for me, seeing this movie, those of you who have seen my videos before, there's something I brought up with this idea where I can relate to the characters in my movie. I can definitely relate to the character of Star-Lord, and for me personally, myself as Brendan, to see this movie, how this movie spoke to me, is very interesting. And I just actually so happen to have my own Infinity Stone that I just happened to come across on my journeys just within like the most recent period of time. But this Infinity Stone, much like the one in the movie, to me like signifies connection to like source and unity and potential and the remembrance that we are all wizards and that we can co-create in this reality. Though that's not necessarily what this movie was like subtly hinting at, but I'm just sort of throwing that in there. But the other thing that I can relate to drawing this movie back and expanding it, those who don't know me, there's this whole thing that's been going on called ParadigmShiftCentral.com, and basically it's this project where I am putting forth my efforts to assemble with the other Guardians of the Galaxies. The other Guardians of the Galaxy, the people here on Earth who want to be able to help stand up for like when they see an ego-driven bad guy sort of like corrupting even the spirits of people, so to speak. And like when we're corrupted by greed and when we're corrupted by envy and we're corrupted by like anger and frustration. So using the power of love, using the power of like rad dance moves and everything, that's where we can like overcome the fear together. And that's what it means for me to be Guardian of the Galaxy. It's this whole thing synonymous. We've created the term shifters. And it goes out with the idea of like doing free hugs out in public. Shout out to like our friends who are standing in the middle of some very interesting situations and giving out free hugs because they see themselves as the ones who are willing to ask the question, if we don't, who will? And sometimes when there isn't someone else to do it, it means that you have the choice to stand up. You have the choice to like show and like open your heart, you know? So basically, I want to be able to help make this world a better place, and I know there's a lot of other people who want to be able to help do this. And like Star-Lord, I mean, I can just like relate to the idea that there's a duty that comes with being a human. So cosmic citizen, guardian of the galaxy, shifter, person who's choosing to be the change that they wish to see in the world. This movie is like a shout out for us, for all of us, whether you acquire like or think of a title or any sort of umbrella or not. For all of us to step into our hearts, to move like into our hearts, like to find that new balance from the root and the crown in the heart, then like that is where we will all remember that we are all the Star-Lords. So that's what this movie's about. This movie is about Peter Quill reconnecting with his mother, and his mother is our mother, is the source, is the remembrance of our connection to all things and that we are taken care of. And like, yeah, you'll see it in the movie. Go see it for yourself and just keep that in the back of your mind, that like even though it's not super obvious, there is still this message that I can resonate, that I can interpret in my own perspective. That's all I'm doing. I'm not asking you to believe anything. I'm just sharing with you what I see in honesty. And like this movie is like an esoteric symbolic representation of us reconnecting with the higher like spirit of the mother, of the Isis, of like the all that is, and the connection to the father. And it's very interesting. You don't find out much about Peter Quill's father, but I'll just say that there. So like just, yeah, but that's our idea too, is that the father is often hidden, and the father is like, yeah, well, it's all around us. It is all around us, and the Trinity is us right in the middle. So like this times 3, the Triskelius. There's the left, the right, the yin, the yang, and then there's the middle, and the membrane. And we are the membrane between the cosmic and like us and the divine, and like the beingness of the divine in the cosmos. So anyways, for those still watching, yes, that's my review of Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a lot of awesome stuff in this movie. There's a lot of like dogfighting scenes. For those, like, I always think back, you know, like this whole movie is about the outlaw. This whole movie is about like the role of the outlaw. And the outlaw is the one who's willing to stand up for like old traditions. And sometimes old traditions just means something simple as like having nobility and having honor and being able to help those who are less fortunate, and being able to like see when things can be done to help make a day better for a person, even if it's just a smile. So start giving more smiles to people, start giving out free hugs, talk to people, get them in sync, connect with them, find the other Guardians of the Galaxies, build the tribe, and take it a step further and practice your meditation and inquire about like dream exploration and become a cosmic citizen of the galaxy in both realms, and practice developing your imagination. So that's what I have to say on that. And again, this movie is super awesome. I would definitely go recommend it. Enjoy it, enjoy what it is, enjoy even the idea that just because we're on Earth doesn't mean there's not a lot of stuff that's already going on out there in terms of like all the different species and bipedal creatures that could all exist, because we're all extension of the unity and the one mind, and like the sacred geometry that is everywhere here on Earth, is everywhere throughout the galaxy. So as above, so below. As you go in, the world changes all around you. So go in, remember, connect, Star-Lords. That is what we are. And that is my message, to be able to help you remember who you are. So remember who you are in terms of like being that unique person that you came here to be. Everybody's got their own special, their own spark that they bring to the cosmic table. So I look forward to doing it together as a team. So again, ParadigmShiftCentral.com. For my fellow Guardians of the Galaxy, you can find me there, connect, message in the live chat. We'll talk about things, and we'll do the radio show live every Sunday, 9 p.m. EST or EDT, depending on which time of the year you watch this in. So yeah, awesome stuff. Alright, so that's my message, and go see Guardians of the Galaxy. You'll like it, you'll enjoy it. And yeah, sing for mysticism, movies. The Hollywood spell has been casted again. And now we are remembering ourselves further down the road. So keep spiraling out. There you go. There's the moon. I'll talk to you guys later. Through the portal of love. There you go.
Why would you risk your life for this?
Because right now, life's giving us a chance.
To do what?
Something good, something bad, a bit of both.
I will fight beside you. I will destroy you and your world.
First, you gotta go through us!
We're the frickin' Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm with them. I have a plan.